what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Jason. Super excited to have you guys back again for another episode. If this is the first time you've been here, what we do on this entire channel, we talk about branding, marketing, advertising, as well as motivation. So without wasting any time, let's jump into today's episode. Today's episode will be pretty interesting because we will be jumping through two different articles on Ad Age. First, regarding black consumers. Second, we have the return of Taco Bell's nacho fries. Then we have an article from Forbes really talking about marketing. And finally, we want to talk about the Sofa Summit Buy Smartly, where we have a lot of fun things going on there. So let's first jump into the first article right now. So the first article by Ad Age is was actually posted today and really talks about how black consumers are groups that are most swayed by brand values and diversity practices. And this study was actually done by Numerator, and what they found was that on average, black consumers are 31% compared to 16%, so it's twice the average, to say that a brand's commitment to diversity, equality, and social justice is getting more important as we move forward. So this reinforces the idea that moving forward, people are really trying to look for brands that they are able to stand behind. I'm actually recently just picked up the book Bigger Than This by Fabian Gay Ralter. The fun thing about that book really is talking about brands, right? What that brand really talks about is 8 commodity brand traits that really makes a brand stand out. So commodity items would be typical things that typically don't have much meaning behind them, like sunglasses, toothbrush, and things like that, right? The general everyday items that people don't really pay attention to, but if you are able to apply your brand towards it, you are able to elevate the experience that people have, and this will help you resonate with consumers the most. So in this particular book, he discusses 8 different brand traits that you can actually apply to a brand and how you're supposed to be thinking about it, right? The first 2 is actually story and belief. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys all 8 of them. That would be ruin the fun. If you guys want to learn more, definitely go check out his book, right? But the first 2 is story and belief, where story really talks about how the story of how you got started, the story of the very roots of your brand is what's going to draw people in, right? When we think about story, sometimes we don't have to look too far because the very story of how we got started is a very inspirational on its own, and it can really help tie people in closer to the brand. If story doesn't really work, sometimes what you could possibly do is really rethink how you would like to structure, how you can actually how you can adjust your practices, how you're able to adjust your practices so that you can create a new story that people can stand behind. Now, this may cause short-term loss in profits because you are adjusting everything, but in long term, because you are able to take a stand, and this stance is able to resonate with your audience, that this would in turn give you room for long-term growth. So that's how you're supposed to be thinking about it. And then the rest of the book really just talk about different ways that things about this. The third one is about cause, and so on and so forth. So jumping back into the article right now, what we do see is that Black and African American consumers are very, very likely to actually really care about these kinds of subjects. So it's very important, especially as a company here in the United States, that we really start thinking about what we want to stand behind, how we are able to work together with minorities and people of color to make sure that our brand is a brand that really resonates with them, that really provides value with them, and to let them know that we are standing here with them, right? So here's a little chart to actually show what people who cares about what, and where people are actually what people's overall opinion on things should really be. We can really see that right now African Americans right here, right, are the highest, with them caring about it 31.1%, like we mentioned above, compared to the general population where it's 16.1%. On average, white people are less care less about this subject, but I'm sure with the way the political trend is going, we can definitely see all these numbers increase year on year. Okay, aside from that, let's jump into the next subject. The next subject really is how Taco Bell and returning their nacho fries. Now, this is a pretty cool one. And I'm not gonna play the whole video. I watched it already, but it's a pretty cool video. And this star, Kiri, uh, sorry, yes, the Stranger Things star Kiri, uh, Stranger Things stars Kiri actually stars within this entire advertising that really introduces back Taco Bell's much awaited fan favorite taco fries. So this was a pretty inventive way of actually bringing the fries back, and it's overall just a very great way to build anticipation to things. But this article does highlight that it is really weird because it is filmed in a very cinematic format, but at the same time, not many people can actually go to cinemas if any cinemas are actually open at all. So this approach was a very unique approach, but nonetheless, a lot of people were waiting for the return of this since its arrival back in January of 2020. It released back in December 24th of last year. So it's just like what, a little less than a month ago they came back, and people are absolutely raving about it. This was actually done by Douch agency in Los Angeles. They're one of the companies that I definitely would recommend you guys go check out, just because like the amount of innovative work they've done with Taco Bell, from creating Taco Bell and making Taco Bell's test kitchen into the most sought after restaurant and the most hardest restaurant to actually get a booking at, and they only ran this campaign for a while. You can find the video on Vimeo. Okay, so let's jump right back into this. So the reason why this is such a cool ad was actually because of this ad called Taco Bell Breakfast Routine Republic, where they really portrayed McDonald's clown as, in some sense, in a very Hunger Games themed, where it's everybody has to eat McDonald's and everything is really bland in this cruel, cold McDonald's only world. And the video will be here, so I'll just link it down below so you guys can definitely go check it out, because I remember they took it down from YouTube. So this was 6 years ago, so it's absolutely amazing. And this actually is one of the immutable laws of marketing, and that is the law of opposite. Right? The law of opposite really is where there is strength, there is weakness, because not everybody's gonna love a brand, right? At the same time, because not everybody loves a brand, being able to appeal to the people who do not like that brand is an absolutely amazing and smart move that Taco Bell actually implemented, or like Douch agency in Los Angeles, right? Same thing. Another great example is Coca-Cola and Pepsi again, right? I know I bring them up a lot, but it's just because I really do love the marketing done by both of them. So when you look at both of them, Coca-Cola has always been a classic, so they always appeal towards that older generation. But then you have Pepsi, where in the early years throughout when they were competing with each other, they couldn't. Coca-Cola was always higher than Pepsi, and Pepsi's only way to challenge them was actually, okay, since you're going to focus on the older generation, that the classical nostalgic feel that your drink actually provides, we are going to target a younger audience that actually reaches out towards a much more fresher vibe and a fresher brand. And that was how Pepsi was actually able to climb its way up to second place within the whole beverage market at this point. So yes, it's definitely a very interesting duality. And actually, another rule within the 22 immutable laws of marketing is actually the law of duality, where at the end of the day, no matter how big competition is within the market, at the end of the day, it will come back down to about two different companies that really dominate a market. And this is very typical in many ways. We often see this even in smartphones, right? Like the two biggest brands that people honestly would think of would still Apple and Samsung, right? Then you have all the other smaller brands, but at the core of it, it's usually two bigger brands that are fighting with each other the most. So that is what's going on within this ad. So definitely recommend you guys go check this out. I will link this down below. It's an absolutely cool ad. You guys have to go check it out. The way it portrays people, the way it brings up the emotions within people to try Taco Bell's breakfast, right? Because this was the same time they released a new menu in their breakfast item, and it was to me it's like an amazingly done ad. Okay, moving on from there, what we have right now is actually this article by Dr. Augustine Fu from at Forbes, right? Talking about unified marketing framework, when to use tactic. Now, biggest thing that I want to take away is this is really the pitching and catching that he's highlighting right here. He's really talking about both are needed to play the game of marketing, and what people often do is people do a lot of pitching and not enough of catching. And see, like right here, like what do I mean by advertisers can pitch their messages out to potential customers using awareness tactics. But when people are aware, what people usually do is when people would often go online and search for customers, not search for customers, sorry, customers will go online and actually search for the product, search for search about the thing that they're searched up, right? Especially maybe not cheap items, but especially when things are expensive, consumers will take time to go and research a product, research things. So being able to provide content to these people, right? Being able to provide the things that people want to search for and being able to answer questions is very, very important, because then you can actually catch more of these people to reinforce the ideas that they want. For instance, and I'm weird, I like kitchen knives, okay? So initially, if I wanted to buy a kitchen knife, and let's say I would buy something, for instance, I'm just jump right on here, and let's go to Mason, right? And see, I've always searched up Mason. First thing pops up is the chef knives. And then I would type out, and it's like a $65 chef knife. And what I would do, right, it's maybe how do I maintain a knife? How to maintain a chef knife. And if I remember correctly, a Mason ad would actually pop up or something. I remember somewhere I saw, like, for instance, like this right now, an article right now by Mason that actually teaches me how to actually care for my knives, how to actually sharpen them, and how to actually just overall care for the item that I'm about to buy, how to best store the items, and things like that are maybe questions that I want to know. And being able to actually pop up here as like the first ad would be a great thing, because then it reinforces that this is a company that knows what I'm looking for and knows that this is the things that I want to, and then they are able to further upsell me by saying, if you want to buy the things to actually maintain your things, maintain your knives, you can buy whetstones here, you can buy easy sharpness here, you can just buy whatever it is. If you want to buy a knife storage, it's here as well, right? So it's all about how you're able to connect everything, and being able to really catch people when they're looking for things is really what this article, at least the top part of this article, really is talking about. I will link it down below if you guys are interested in actually looking at it more. There is a second part of it where it's really talking about a framework of when to use tactics, and it's really about showing you when you want to use TV, print, radio, digital, all this great stuff, right? It's a whole bunch of fun stuff, so I definitely recommend you guys go check that out. Now, the final thing that I want to talk about today is really about the SOFA Summit. Now, the SOFA Summit is by Smartly.io, and it's amazing, right? This is a free event that you guys should definitely check out, because it's the world's largest social advertising event. It's in 8 days, 8 hours, 35 minutes, 26 seconds. It's on January 27th or to the 28th, and they'll have a lot of celebrity guest speakers, right, and forward thinkers within the entire market, from Seth Godin, the marketing guru of the century. Well, not the century, but he's nonetheless a marketing guru. It's written multiple different books on marketing that just have amazing insights on them. I will definitely go through some of them in the future. I definitely have picked up some. I still need to finish them. Then we have Gary Vaynerchuk that I always talk about, right? Entrepreneur, investor, author, chairman of VaynerX. We have Kristo Ovaska, the owner and co-founder and CEO of Smartly.io, the website we are on. Claire Reynolds from Deliveroo, James Gregson from Lego. We have like amazing people from all over the place, from TikTok, Facebook, Dentsu, another advertising agency, Snap Inc., Gymshark, Kevin, Flowbox, and it's just a whole bunch of fun. So I definitely recommend you guys go check this out. I will link it down. It's absolutely free. Just log on, sign up for it. It's free, and that's what better time it is. Especially during these challenging time. there is no better time than to hear from these forward thinkers, to see how they are expecting things to change, to see what the latest industry trends, what's going on. So that's all I really have for you guys today. I hope today's little video was informational. I definitely enjoyed talking to you guys about it, and that's about it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for everybody who's watching, for everybody who's always paying attention. I really do appreciate everybody who's staying on and watching everything. And I do know when I don't promote it, not as many people watch, or almost nobody watches, but for those of you who watches this, I'm really grateful for you guys. Do let me know what you guys would love to hear about next if you guys do watch to the end, and I really do appreciate your time. Thank you, and I will again see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. It's nighttime, but hope you guys next morning or whatever it is will have absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. See you guys.